What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. This video is the third part in apparently the most popular series on the channel. Seriously, you all seem to love these videos, which is the Negative Levels series. If you're new here, this is the series where I go over 2 negative levels in each video, and then when I'm done with all of them, I'm gonna compile them into one huge video for you all to watch. Like I said, this is the third one of the series, and I will be going over levels -5 and level -6. Hopefully you enjoy the video, and let's get into it. Level -5 is classified as a Class 0, so it's safe and secure, with no entities. Well, kinda. Let's get a round of applause for a negative level being safe. Physically, the level looks like a huge field that's been covered in snow. And apparently this level actually isn't that big because if you walk out really far in any direction, you'll just be teleported right behind where you spawned in. Somewhere in the depths of this level, there's actually a really old looking World War II era concrete structure with a door on one side and a hole in the wall on the other side. This building just seems to be randomly put here, since it's the only real building here, and it's unknown why it's there. The only real threat to you here is the cold temperatures, but even hypothermia doesn't work like it does in real life here, and it only sets in at a lower temperature, and it takes longer to get to you. So as long as you've got something on, you should be good. If you look into that cutout hole I just talked about inside the concrete structure, you won't be able to see anything, and it's been described as complete darkness. However, if you go in that door inside the structure I just talked about, you'll notice that the area after the door is very similar to the hallways in level -2. Link to that explanation down below. And the only difference is, instead of the lights being blue, they're red. And the halls themselves have small plaques on them that say New Year's 1945. Nice. The halls are supposedly infinite, but that's not confirmed. And these plaques are not the only things on the walls, and there are other things like World War II propaganda posters, not just ones from the USA or Japan, they're from other places too, like Britain and Germany. And all of the text on these posters are in their own native language. One thing that is noted about these posters is that the people on the posters have really unsettling smiles. Like, more unsettling than the thought of war. Kinda creepy. Really far into the halls, there's been some gas masks found on the floor, and they seem to be really old but still functional, except none of them have any filters for some reason. Every 7 days on this level, the sky fills with shadows of bomber planes from the World War II era. These planes are flying fast, and they're all in different layers, and there's so many of them that just hearing all the noise from them might cause you to go temporarily deaf if you don't plug your ears. They all fly in sort of a grid pattern, and they're literally just a few feet away from each other in the air. These planes also drop quote-unquote bombs every few seconds, but these bombs don't actually hit the ground because they fade away right before they do, so they literally happen for no reason. It's still not determined if these planes should actually be categorized as an entity since they don't interact with people or cause any harm, so we don't know. The only danger that they even pose at all is the downdraft from all their wings. Sometimes it can cause a blizzard, but other than that, they're pretty chill. And you can enter level -5 by walking really far into level -4, and you can exit the level by following those red lit hallways until you find the entrance to level -6. Nice. Next up for the video is level -6, which is classified as a class 3 difficulty and isn't safe, but it does have a low entity count, relatively. This level looks like a really old mine shaft with some random entities in it every so often. The level is a very new discovery, so not many people have even been here, and the only people that have are a Meg team that's currently trying to set up an operation here to study it more. Scattered around this mine, there are some random flashlights and spotlights and matches on the floor right as you get into the level, which is obviously useful since it's dark. And sometimes the lighting here can change drastically, but typically, the deeper you go into the mine, the darker it gets. So eventually you can go so deep that you literally can't see anything. When you first get here, the mine shaft will be really cramped and short, but as you go further down it, it'll eventually open up into bigger rooms and caves, and then eventually after that, you'll walk into these huge caverns and quarries that are really dark. Now these huge open areas are really dangerous since you can't see anything, and the entities here will depend on how deep you go in. At the start of the mine, you can run into Reviux, bursters, and wranglers, but when you get deeper and deeper into the caves, the creatures that are there are not even documented, so that's kind of spooky. And at a certain point, the mine shaft just stops, and there's only huge caverns, like I said, and this area is called the Game Over area. And it's really dangerous, and the only entity there is the Scomparsa, which looks like a giant pterodactyl or a quetzal, kinda. If you played Ark, you know what I'm talking about. They fly and hunt using echolocation, and they have this terrifying shriek when they do that. So if you're walking down the huge cavern and you hear a shriek, you're probably not gonna make it. And no one knows what's past this huge cavernous area. There are actually 2 bases here. One of them is the Mega Outpost Blinding Dark, which is located just 300 feet into the level, and they got about 15 members. The other outpost is a really interesting one. It's called the Prophets, and they claim to be the original people who lived here. And they're all completely blind since they've been in the dark for so long. And there's around 30 of them, and they're relatively passive, but don't push their buttons, you know? To enter this level, well, there's no really solid way. The Meg team entered by just walking deep into those hallways at level -5, so that's the only way discovered as of now, and there's no discovered exit. But it's theorized that the exit is past that Game Over cavernous area, but I'm not going to be the one sent there to try to find it out. So yeah, that is it for this installment of the Negative Backrooms Levels Explained, Episode 3. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you, as always, for your support. I genuinely appreciate it. Make sure you go sub to Broogli for some gaming and real-life videos. It's going to be awesome over there. Make sure you check out the links below if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons and channel members. Thank you to everybody. 104,000 subscribers. I mean, like, what? That literally is like, I cannot fathom that number. I mean, just think about it. I looked up a big football stadium, like the Tennessee football stadium, for instance. It fits 101,000 people in it. The Broogli channel could literally sell out an entire huge D1 football stadium and then add 3,000 people. Or if you like the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. We could fill that entire stadium out plus 24,000 people. Like, that's how visually many of you there are. And I literally am beyond grateful for everything you've given me. I know I thank you guys a lot, but it's like from the bottom of my heart, I just cannot fathom that this is happening. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome, and especially it's cool when I get to meet you all on Discord and talk to you. And for some reason, y'all are surprised that, you know, I'm talking on Discord, but I mean, what kind of loser actually doesn't talk to their fans, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, thank you so much for just keeping up with the content, checking out the new videos. Merch is coming soon, don't you worry, it is in the works, I promise you. Also, the silver play button unboxing will be on Broogli. That's it for the announcements and the shameless plugging. I will see you later. Peace.